Okay. So a very good afternoon to everyone. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Hope you all are doing well. So guys, we are starting, and actually we are also ending today with the chapter 2, unit 3, that is supply. Okay. Supplies in the first part of supply, we had done the meaning of supply, the factor that is determinants of supply. We had studied the different kind of MCQs, right, provided by our lovely institute, and then similar other lines we had studied. Okay, movement versus shift of supply we had studied. So now, considering all this, factors, what are we headed on to, sir? What are we doing today? What is our goal for the day? So my dear friends, let me tell you all something. There was a topic which I had started last class, which I told I'll continue and I'll go in details with today. That's elasticity of supply. So yes, my dear friends, here we are today discussing elasticity of supply and the many MCQs today. Again, like the previous sessions. Okay. So elasticity of supply. Let's go ahead, everybody. Let's go ahead. Elasticity of supply. My dear friends, it is much like elasticity of demand. In case of elasticity of demand, there were a lot of concepts like price elasticity, income elasticity, and so many other things. Here we are expected to know only two things. As far as elasticity of supply is concerned, you are expected to know only two formulas. Basically, number one, first of all, it's only price elasticity that you need to know. Only price elasticity, first of all. And under price elasticity, only two methods you are supposed to know. Number one is the percentage method, okay, and number two is the arc elasticity method. So sir, are we going to discuss both? Absolutely yes, we are going to discuss both. Don't you worry at all. Don't you worry at all. Okay, so let's start without any further delay. All right, let's talk about percentage method. Okay, so what does percentage method tell us? So the friends, the big question is, what does percentage method tell us? Okay, so let me explain you the same. If let's say price of a commodity is changing by 1%, अगर commodity का price केवल 1% से बदल रहा है, if you are expected to know by what percentage is quantity changing, मतलब अगर आपको जानना है कि जब commodity का price 1% से बदल रहा है तो quantity supplied कितने परसेंट से बदलेगा. To calculate that, we use a numerical technique called elasticity. Elasticity of supply, my dear friends, is equals to percentage change in quantity supplied. This triangle means change, percentage change. It's also called delta. Percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. Percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. Okay, percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. Okay, yes sir. So moving on, please pay attention everyone. If you see here, percentage change in quantity supplied, how is it calculated sir? कैसे calculate होता है percentage change in quantity supplied? Very good, let's see, I'll help you out. It's new quantity supplied minus old quantity supplied by old quantity into 100. Correct? Similarly, percentage change in price is equals to new price minus old price whole divided by old price into 100. This is percentage method. Sir, it is much like demand. एकदम demand की तरह है sir. You are absolutely correct friends in saying so. Okay, so let's start discussing. Okay, I'll give you an example first and then let's see, we will calculate. Okay, so question is, if price of a commodity was initially, let's say 20 rupees and now the price has risen to 25 rupees. As a result, quantity supplied initially was, my dear friends, 80 units. Now the quantity supplied has risen to, let's say the quantity supplied has risen to 120 units. What you are expected to tell us is, you have to find out elasticity of supply. You have to find out elasticity of supply. So attack everybody, find out elasticity of supply. Come on everyone. Come on everyone. See, I will help you all. First of all, we will calculate change in price. Change in price. Okay. So change in price is how much friends? New price is 25, old price is 20. So 25 minus 20. 25 minus 20. नया प्राइस माइनस पुराना प्राइस, 25 माइनस 20 है ना, यानी कि ₹5. And if we talk about change in quantity, it is 120 minus 80, that is equals to 40 units, that is equals to 40 units. New minus old, always new minus old. Now we will calculate percentage change in price. To calculate percentage change in price, friends, always take the change in price by original price, which is 20, and to convert it into percentage you multiply 100, so it gives you 25%. Similarly, if you want to calculate percentage change in quantity, it's 40 units divided by original quantity, which is 80 units, into 100. So if you solve it, my dear friends, you are getting is 50%. Now what is elasticity value? Percentage change in quantity supplied is 50%, percentage change in price is 25%, percent gone, 2. So the value of elasticity of supply is 2. Very good everybody. Quantity above, price below, quantity above, price below, सबको लिखिए, क्वांटिटी ऊपर प्राइस नीचे, क्वांटिटी अबव प्राइस बिलो, क्वांटिटी अबव प्राइस बिलो, नेवर द अपोजिट, नेवर द अपोजिट. Come on everyone. Okay. I will teach you another thing. And remember, Divya, it is a mistake. Our friend Divya has made a mistake. Divya, with elasticity, you don't put any percentage. My other friends, I have been speaking on this constantly. With elasticity, don't apply any kind of units like percentage or anything. You won't do it. Acha. Okay, correct, sir. So please remember it, everybody. You will never do it. What, sir? You will never ever put any sign behind elasticity. Never. Okay. Sir, another question, sir. Let's see. If let's say price is 20 rupees. Now let's say price has fallen. So P1 is greater than P2. Let's say price is ₹15, but quantity supplied has also fallen, 100 units, to let's say quantity has fallen to 70 units. Okay, come on everybody, what is the elasticity of supply going to be? Come on everybody, try it out. कोशिश कीजिए. Yes, it will be MCQ. Yes. Pay attention everybody. See, change in price is new price minus old price. My dear friends, new price is 15 rupees. Old price is 20 rupees. So new price minus old price divided by old price into 100 if you want to calculate percentage change in price. Okay, so my dear friends, it's minus 5 by 20 into 100. It's minus 25%. Sir, why minus, sir? Because price is falling. प्राइस गिर रहा है, इस वजह से ये नेगेटिव आया है. ओके, मूविंग ऑन. If we are asked to calculate percentage change in quantity, again old quantity minus new quantity, new quantity minus old quantity, 70 minus 100 by old quantity, that is 100 into 100. This is the old quantity and this 100 is to convert into percentage. If it is gone, it gives you minus 30%. Okay, so what is elasticity equals to? I always told you, quantity above, price below, quantity ऊपर, price नीचे, quantity ऊपर, price नीचे. So minus 30% by minus 25%. Minus gone, percent gone. 6 by 5, यानी कि what you get is 1.2. So elasticity of supply is 1.2. My dear friends, elasticity is generally positive. I have a question from you all. I will not give you any options here. Okay, I will give you an option, okay? Pay attention everybody. I'll ask you a question actually without any option. Remember, quantity above, price below, quantity above, price below, quantity above, price below. Okay? All right. So my dear friends, pay attention. My question to you is, why elasticity of supply value generally comes positive while elasticity of demand comes negative? Why is it so? Why is it so? Why is it so? Who will give me answer? Two parts to this question. Why elasticity of supply comes positive, but generally elasticity of demand comes negative? I need your answer from each one of you. Come on. Okay, very good, yeah. Everybody has given correct answer. Amazing to say this, yeah. So yes, you all are indeed correct in your approach while you're telling me that it is because elasticity of supply is generally positive because of direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. Direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. That is, when price rises, profit margin rises, so quantity supplied will rise. If price falls, quantity supplied will also fall. Okay. But the next question is, why price elasticity of demand will come negative? The answer is very simple. Because of inverse relation between price and quantity. That is, when price rises, quantity falls. When price falls, quantity rises. This is why. Everybody, please make sure you have noted it down. Please make sure you have noted it down. Come on, everyone. Okay, very good, very good. Very good, Kirti. Dharvi, Khushdeep, Kanishk, very good. Sakshi, Abhinav, very good. So friends, this is the journey till now. My dear friends, if you remember, this elasticity of supply formula, I can change or twinkle a little bit. थोड़ा सा मैं इस elasticity of supply के साथ फॉर्मूले के साथ थोड़ा खेल सकता हूं. इसको मैं एक नया रूप दे सकता हूं. We can give it a new form to the existing elasticity of supply formula. Sir, what? Please tell us. I'll show you how. Pay attention, everybody. Now how we are computing? Friends, Yash, Khushdeep. So friends, pay attention. How did we do? Change in quantity by original quantity into 100. It was the journey till now. By change in price by original price into 100, right? My dear friends, what I can do is Q2 minus Q2, Q1, I can just write delta Q. That is change in Q by Q1 into 100 by delta P, that is change in price by P1 into 100. My dear friends, 100 gone, 100 gone, 100 gone. Now pay attention, everybody. So change in quantity by original quantity into original price by change in price. So you can also use this formula to solve your questions. Change in quantity by change in price by original price by original quantity. I can write it down for you. This indicates change in quantity. If it's rising, it is positive. If it is falling, it's negative. Change in price, okay? And in, P1 is original price, Q1 is original quantity. You can use this formula as well. Come on, everybody. Make sure you all have noted it down. Okay. Very good. Okay. So see how we can use this formula. Suppose original price was 10 rupees. Price has risen to 12 rupees. Original quantity was 80 units. Now the new quantity is, let's say, 60 units. So how can you use this formula instead of the old one? Both are the same only. So don't need to panic. Both are the same only. Okay. So elasticity is equals to here I can write, let's say 100. So now what is happening is change in quantity. Quantity has risen by 20. By change in price, price has risen by 2 rupees. Okay, into original price P1, that is 10, by original quantity Q1, that is 80. Bus, that's it. Now you may please do it your way. Okay, you may please do it your way. So what is happening is 0 0 gone, 2 tens are. Okay, so 10 by 8, that is 5 by 4. 10 by 8 is 5 by 4. So the answer, it seems to me, is around 1.125. So this is how also you can solve the question. What I have done is I have applied the same formula, change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity. Is it crystal clear, everybody? Very good. Just check whether it's 1.25 or 1.125. If you all are saying 1.25, I will write 1.25, no problem. Okay, don't worry. 5 by 4 is coming, na? If it's coming 1.25, I'll write 1.25. Just check it. Okay, I have not done it. That doesn't matter also. Okay, what matters is whether you are able to come till here or not. Okay, so now, my dear friends, since you have understood some part of the things, okay, you can divide 5 by 4. Okay, I'll show it to you. For those who are asking, sir, show how to divide. 5 minus 4, 1. You put a point. 4 2s are 8. 2 0 5. Correct. So it will be 1.25. 1.25. 1.25. Okay. 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 Great. So now moving on, friends. Let's tell you something else. Let's tell you something. All right, sir. Let's clear you something. Yes, yes. It will be 1.25. Okay. Maybe I had written 1.125. It will be 1.25. बड़े बड़े शहरों में छोटी छोटी बातें होती है. You all know this. So moving on. Pay attention, everyone. Now the question that I am giving you all is, an MCQ one. Okay. So please solve it, everybody. I will not help you out here. I am not helping you out here. So if price falls by rupees 10, original price is rupees 50. Now quantity falls by 20 units, original quantity is 80 units. Okay, calculate elasticity of supply. Okay, I'll not give you options also. I am not giving you options also. Come on, everybody. Go ahead, everyone. Go ahead, everyone. Go ahead, friends. Go ahead, friends. Come on, everyone. Very, very good. Very, very good. So yes, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. See, what you have to do is apply this simple formula. Change in quantity by change in price by original price into original quantity. Okay. So now what you do is change in quantity is by how much? 20. By change in price is by 10. So minus 20 by minus 10. Sir, why minus? Because it has fallen into original price, which is 50 rupees, original quantity, which is 80 units. Okay. So let's see, 0 0 minus minus gone, 0 0, 10 by 8. So 5 by 4. So the answer will be 1.25. Absolutely correct. Wow. So the answer all of you are getting is 1.25. Very, very good. Always remember this formula. Very, very important. Okay. Now friends, if you have understood this, let me explain you another key concept. Okay. Which is arc elasticity of supply. Okay, let's discuss arc elasticity of supply. All right, pay attention everybody. Arc elasticity of supply. Acha, before I go ahead, you know this price elasticity of supply that we are doing. First, at least let me write you down the definition, you know, because demand definition and supply definition almost same, you know. So if somebody asks you what is price elasticity of supply, obviously I am telling you the definition so that you are able to mark. Okay. See, price elasticity of supply is the degree of responsiveness. Price elasticity of supply is basically the degree of responsiveness, the degree of responsiveness, the degree of responsiveness of quantity supplied to the change in own price of the commodity, to the change in own price of the commodity, degree of responsiveness of quantity supplied to change in own price of the commodity. Come on everybody, write down this word, degree of responsiveness, meaning how will supply react to the change in price. सप्लाई कैसे बदलेगा जब वो प्राइस को बदलते हुए देखता है. How is supply changing when it's looking at the change in price is what we are studying here. Okay, so before I go to arc elasticity, I need you all to note it down. Degree of responsiveness of quantity supplied to the change in own price of the commodity. Everybody, what is the keyword here? The keyword, my lovely friends, is degree of responsiveness. The keyword, my lovely friends, is degree of responsiveness. Degree of responsiveness is the keyword here. Degree of responsiveness is the keyword here. Okay friends, yes sir, it's correct. Moving on. Okay, so now friends, let's talk about arc elasticity of supply as you all have asked me to. Okay, so have it. Come on everybody, arc elasticity of supply, arc elasticity of supply. Pay attention friends. Come on everybody, it's the same as arc elasticity of demand, my lovely friends. See, whenever I want to explain arc elasticity na, I will remind you percentage method. You know, here it is percentage method and here it is arc elasticity. Almost same. I'll remind you all. Pay attention everybody. Okay, pay attention everybody. See, under percentage method, elasticity of supply, how you used to calculate? Change in quantity by original quantity into 100 whole divided by change in price by original price into 100. Yes or no everybody? This was percentage method. Yes or no friends? That we did right now. Yes or no friends? Yes sir. Now in arc elasticity, only a slight change, इत्तू सा बदलाव, बहुत ही छोटा बदलाव, a very little change. What is it? The change is that it change in quantity by instead of the original quantity you will take the average quantity. आप लोग average quantity consider करेंगे. इसका मतलब Q1 plus Q2 by 2 बस. Here you were only taking the original quantity. Here you are taking the average quantity. Okay, whole divided by change in price by average price into 100 bus. That is it. Sir, we got it sir. So the only change that lies is here. Instead of original quantity and original price, we are using average quantity and average price. Bus, that's it. That's the very little change I was explaining you friends about. Okay sir, amazing sir. So yes, here it is. I write it down for you. Under the arc elasticity of supply, what happens is, elasticity of supply equals to change in quantity by average quantity into 100 by change in price by average price into 100. Bas, that's it. That's it. Yes, answer might come different. Very good question asked by one of our friends. That sir, will the answer be different? Obviously, dear, because the way you are calculating is different. Here you are taking original quantity, here you are taking average quantity. So it is completely different, friends. As far as which method to use when, question will tell you. Our friend Priya is asking, sir, how do we know which method to use when? My dear friend, the question will tell you. You don't need to bother about the same. The question is going to tell you the same. Okay? So here it is. Okay. So pay attention. Pay attention, everyone. There is another formula for arc elasticity that I need to write before I explain everyone. Okay? So pay attention, everyone. You know the original formula that I told you, I will give it a twist. इसी को थोड़ा सा बदलेंगे, इसी को थोड़ा सा पलटेंगे. Pay attention, everyone. Change in quantity by average quantity, correct, into 100 by change in price by average price into 100. Correct, friends? Yes, sir, you are absolutely correct. We do agree. My dear friends, I'll tell you some magic. Okay? 100 gone. Yes, sir, we do agree. 2 gone. Yes, sir, we do agree. So, friends, is it not correct for you to do it like this? Change in quantity by Q1 plus Q2 into P1 plus P2 by change in price. So, what we can basically write it as change in quantity by change in price into sum of the two prices, that is at the beginning at the end, and that is at the beginning at the end, sum of quantities. There it is, there it is, there it is. If question is silent, you use percentage method. Okay. So this is how you know. This is how you apply it. Okay. We have to know how to compute it. Okay. We have to know how to compute it. Okay. So let's give us a question, sir. Let's give us a question, sir. Okay. I'll give the same. Okay. Question is, you have to do it. Original price of the commodity was 10 rupees. Price has risen to 14 rupees. Original quantity was 80 units. Now the quantity has risen to 100 units. Okay. Compute arc elasticity of supply. Compute arc elasticity of supply. We have to compute arc elasticity of supply. Come on, everybody. Let's do it here. Come on, everybody. Do it. Okay, so yes, you all are absolutely correct. Sir, we know that the change in quantity is taking place by 20 units, correct? And the change in price is taking place by 4 units into sum of prices is 24 and sum of quantity is 180. Okay, we know this. So 4 5s are 20, 5 36s are 180, 12 2s are 24, 12 3s are 36. So 0.67 is the value of elasticity of supply. I have used this formula for cross elasticity, for arc elasticity. Very good, 0.67. Wow, fantastic. Gunjan, Kanishk, very good. Very good. Sarvanand, very good. Kumari Mikki, very good. Rahul, correct answer, friend. Navneet, correct answer, dost. Very good. Shakaldeep, good answer. Arya, good answer. Okay, sir. So this is how you go about it. Let's give you another question for arc elasticity. Okay, for arc elasticity. All right. Moving on. Question is, price is rupees 80. Now the price is reduced to rupees 60. Quantity was originally 1000 units. Now the quantity has reduced to 900 units. Compute arc elasticity. Come on everybody, compute arc elasticity. Attack everybody, come on yeah. Let's see how many of you are able to do it correctly. Come on everybody. Very good. I have already started getting good answers from you friends. So let's see what is coming, okay? Elasticity of supply here, because it's arc elasticity, change in quantity has gone down by 100 units. So I'll write down minus 100 by change in price, minus 20 into sum of prices 140 by sum of quantity, that is 1900, okay? Minus minus gone, 5, 0 0 gone, 5 14s are 70, okay, by 190. So the answer is going to be 7 by 19, which you all can obviously convert and find out in decimal terms, which you can obviously convert and find out in decimal terms. It obviously required to convert it into two decimals. From what I am understanding from you people, it's coming to approximately 0.37. Approximately it's coming to 0.37. I'll show you. 19, 7 you put a point, becomes 0, these are 57, so 13 you put a 0, then 19 5s are 19 into 5 95, okay, and you go beyond it, so 0.368 type something will come, that's why 0.37, rounding off to two decimal places, okay, rounding off to two decimal places, okay. See, business firms can use any method. Any method is good. Any method is good. There is no one best method, that is percentage or cross elasticity. There is no one best method. It is not a good question only, dear friends. Friends, it's not a good question only. Okay. So please remember everyone, it's not a good question only. Okay. Moving on. Friends, now let's summarize whatever we have done till now. अभी तक अपने जो भी सीखे हैं इसको अपने समराइज कर लेते हैं, अपने इसको समराइज कर लेते हैं. ओके सर, गो अहेड सर. And don't rely too much on calculator. This is very simple calculation, na? You don't need calculator to do it. It is useless to you think of calculator here, okay? You all are going to become chartered accountants, okay? You have to be damn too fast. So thinking about calculator is, something you should not do right now, okay? Pay attention everyone. Summary till now is percentage method. Under percentage method, elasticity of supply is change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity, okay? Percentage method. And under arc elasticity method, as we have already derived, under the arc elasticity method, as we have already derived, what we are going to do is basically elasticity of supply equals to change in quantity by change in price into P1 plus Q1, P1 plus P2 by Q1 plus Q2. Bas, full stop. My dear friends, if it's crystal clear, can I move forward? Because that's the summary of the last 35 minutes around of the class that we have done. Okay, great sir, great. Moving on. Now we are discussing types of price elasticity of supply, much like types of price elasticity of demand, okay? So let's have a discussion everybody. Types of elasticity of supply, okay? Types of elasticity of supply. And yes, I'll repeat, both the methods are equally great. So the business or the consumer don't need to think about which is the best method. Both are equally good. So you can apply any, It's like asking, sir, like for example, if I'm coming to the class today, I'm wearing a pink shirt or a white shirt. It's like asking which one is good for the class today. Whatever you wear, it's good for the class as long as you are teaching well or as long as students are understanding well. Understood? So there is no need of which method is the best. There is no one best method, friends. Okay, there is no one best method. Okay, so don't try to judge that. Okay, types of elasticity of supply. Okay, Friends, much like demand, there are 5 types. They are of 5 types. Exactly the same 5 types which was prevalent in demand. Okay? Yes, Diksha, you are correct. Just like in demand, you need to just substitute supply in the formula. And yes, both are exactly the same. Correct. So moving on. What are the types? Okay? Pay attention, everybody. Here are the types. Number 1, perfectly elastic supply. Perfectly elastic supply. Perfectly inelastic supply. Okay. Then relatively elastic supply. Then relatively inelastic supply. Then unitary elastic supply. Then unitary elastic supply. Then unitary elastic supply. So this is how you are going to discuss, friends. This is how you are going to discuss, friends. Okay? Correct, correct, correct. You all are absolutely correct. So let's pay attention, everybody. Let's pay attention, everybody. Okay? Yes, sir. Number 1. Each one we will discuss very slowly. Pay attention, everybody. Okay? So number 1 is perfectly elastic supply. Okay? So my lovely friends, the formula for perfectly elastic supply, you all already know. Percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. So now what happens here is, pay attention, in perfectly elastic supply what happens is, for a very minute change in price, supply changes by a large quantity. For a very negligible change in price, so here change in price is negligible, almost zero, but change in quantity large unit. In this case what happens is, suppose it is any large unit, let's say x, and change in price is almost zero, so the value becomes what? Infinity. So here the elasticity value is infinity. Here the value of elasticity is infinity. Here the value of elasticity is infinity. Here the value of elasticity is infinity. Okay, go ahead, sir. So I'll show it to you how to do it. Pay attention, everybody. Pay attention, everybody. This is how you do it. Pay attention. I put down price here, quantity supplied here. Okay? Pay attention, everyone. This is price P1. This is quantity Q1. Now, friends, what is happening in case of perfectly elastic supply? In case of perfectly elastic supply is, price is not changing at all. There is a negligible change in price, but quantity is changing. So Q2. So what is happening is, it's much like this. So this is the case. Here elasticity, it is a horizontal line. It is a horizontal line, and the value of elasticity here is going to be infinity. Sir, is it possible in the real world? No. In general, no. It is not possible in the real world. In general, no. My answer would be no. Yes. But yes, somehow we can say, like for example, network connectivity. Geo connection is spreading, supply is increasing by large quantities for a very negligible change in prices. So that you can quote, but in general, elasticity of supply, perfect elasticity doesn't exist. But yes, this might be one of those cases where you can say the elasticity is perfect. Okay? Okay. Clear? All right, sir. So there it is, perfectly elastic supply. Moving on. Number 2, perfectly inelastic supply. So what is perfectly inelastic supply, sir? My dear friends, perfectly inelastic supply is a situation, pay attention everybody, where just the opposite happens. Basically what is happening is, here price is changing, but change in quantity is negligible, just the opposite. Sir, is it possible in the real world? Yes, it is possible in the real world. Sir, how is this possible in the real world, sir? Let's say we talk about painting of Mona Lisa. let's talk about painting of Mona Lisa. You all tell me one thing. If you talk about painting of Mona Lisa, come on everybody, whatever the auction price is, let's say we are auctioning that painting, somebody is ready to pay 1 crore, somebody is willing to pay 10 crore, somebody is willing to pay 100 crores. Is there going to be another new original painting of Mona Lisa apart from the one that we already have on earth? The answer is no. Exactly my point. In real world, it is possible for rare manuscripts, okay? For rare manuscripts, okay? It is very much possible. So you put a price here, quantity here. So yes, here price is changing, but quantity supplied is constant at the same point. And so the graph looks like a vertical line, that is a line which is parallel to y-axis. Vertical line parallel to y-axis. We have a vertical line parallel to y-axis. We have a vertical line parallel to y-axis. Okay. So here let me write it down for you. It is a vertical line that is parallel to y-axis. And what is the value of elasticity of supply here? 0. Why, sir? Because you see percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. Now percentage change in quantity supplied is negligible, so it is 0. Percentage change in price is any amount, let's say y. So 0 by y is 0. So the value of elasticity here is 0. So sir, they are just the two opposites. Perfectly elastic supply and perfectly inelastic supply are just the opposites, isn't it, sir? You are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Moving on, friends. Moving on, my lovely friends. Moving on, my lovely friends. Come on, everybody. Let's pay attention. Now we are discussing the third point. Okay. What is the third point? Relatively elastic supply. Relatively elastic supply. Here there is going to be a percentage change in both. Here there is going to be a percentage change in both. But percentage change in quantity supplied is greater than percentage change in price. So who is going to be in greater change? You know, quantity supplied. Quantity change. Quantity supplied is going to change. Okay, quantity supplied is going to change. Okay, so pay attention everybody. Okay, pay attention everybody. See, elasticity of supply is percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. Here percentage change in quantity supplied is greater than percentage change in price. Now friends, I have one question for you all. If the numerator is greater than the denominator, if the numerator is greater than the denominator, you all tell me what will happen to elasticity of supply? What will happen to elasticity of supply? Come on everybody, what will happen to elasticity of supply? Come on everyone. Okay, very good. You all are absolutely correct. Very good. If numerator is greater than denominator, the fraction will always be greater than 1. Bang on correct. Lovely, my dear friends. So here also, elasticity of supply is going to be greater than 1. Greater than 1. Correct. I'll show you with the help of graph. See, graph is the heart and soul of economics. If there is no graph, economics is not existing. Pay attention. See everybody. So price is here, quantity supplied is here. Pay attention everybody. So what is happening here is, pay attention everybody. Price is P1, quantity supplied is Q1. Now dear friends, lovely friends, pay attention. Quantity is going to change by a larger quantity. So initially they were intersecting here. Now see, price is going to rise, but quantity is going to rise by much larger quantity, and hence let's say I'll put it here. So the curve is relatively flatter. If I had told you to learn it, it would have been very difficult to learn. If you understand graphs, it is the best thing you can do it in economics. So you see friends, this is how it sometimes looks like, you know, as if it's going to touch the y-axis, as if it's going to touch the y-axis. So the curve is relatively flatter. 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 Okay, so the curve is relatively flatter. Okay, sir, amazing, sir. We did get it, sir. Moving on, friends, if we talk about relatively inelastic supply, here we talked about relatively elastic supply. Now, if we talk about relatively inelastic supply, pay attention, everyone. Relatively inelastic supply, if we talk about this, pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. See what is happening. See what is happening. Pay attention. If we talk about relatively inelastic supply, come on everybody, if we talk about relatively inelastic supply, what is happening here? Come on. Here, my dear friends, the percentage change in quantity supplied is less than percentage change in price. Okay? Okay, it's less. Moving on, my dear friends, here the value of elasticity of supply is going to be less than 1. Why, sir? Because you see, as I say again, percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price. If you put it like this, and any time the denominator is greater than numerator, the fraction will always be less than 1. Correct. So here the curve is going to be relatively steeper. I'll show you how. Price, quantity, it is P1, this is Q1. Okay, now what is happening? If let's say you're changing price by a larger amount, quantity is rising by a very small amount. So it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. So when you cut it out, it becomes like this. Yes or no, friends? It seems it will cut the x-axis. Looks like it will cut the x-axis. It is called a narrow curve, or it is called a steep curve. Above was flat, it is steep. Above was flat, it is steep. Absolutely correct, everybody. Correct, correct, correct. Very good, very good. Moving on, number 5. We talk about unitary elastic supply, friends. What is unitary elastic supply, my lovely friends? Unitary elastic supply is a situation where percentage change in quantity supplied is equal to percentage change in price. Percentage change in quantity supplied is equal to percentage change in price. Both are changing by equal percentage. Okay, so what is elasticity of supply going to be? Absolutely correct, everybody. Since numerator and denominator are same, the value of the fraction will be 1. Bang on, correct. Amazing. So I'll draw it out for you all, guys. I'll draw it out for you all, guys. Pay attention, everybody. Here I write down price. Here I write down quantity. One place I write down price, the other place I write down quantity. What is happening is, since both are changing by same percentage, so the distance between the two is going to be the same. It's going to be the same. So it looks like as if it's going to be a 45-degree straight upward sloping line, much like this, okay. And yes, lovely friends, you will not call it rectangular hyperbola. Better not to do it, because it's in the case of demand that you call it rectangular hyperbola, okay? It's not in the case of supply, my lovely friends, okay? You don't do that, I tell again, don't do that, okay? So friends, can you do something for us? Can you write down the summary of the entire elasticity point? Yes, I can do that. So let's make a table. Of whatever we have learned. Come on everybody. Of elasticity, whatever we have learned. Let's summarize it, everyone, okay? Pay attention everybody. Here I'll tell it the type of elasticity. Here I'll talk about the value, and here I'll talk about how the slope or how the curve looks like, the nature of the curve, okay? Please remember everyone, okay? You can copy this table with me, no problem. Perfectly elastic supply. In case of perfectly elastic supply, the value of elasticity is going to be infinite, and the slope is going to be a horizontal line parallel to x-axis, In the second case, friends, you are going to get is perfectly inelastic supply, where you will find out elasticity of supply value is 0, and you are going to get a vertical line which is parallel to y-axis, Moving on. Number 3, relatively elastic supply, okay? Relatively elastic supply. In relatively elastic supply, what happens? The elasticity supply is greater than 1. The curve is relatively flatter, okay? In case of relatively inelastic supply, the fraction is going to be less than 1. The curve is going to be a little steeper. And in case of unitary elastic supply, the value is going to be equal to 1, and the curve is going to be straight upward. It's like a 45-degree line. Don't call it rectangular hyperbola as you do in case of demand, okay? Yes, so this is the summary table. My dear friends, we have covered the types of elasticity as well. Is it crystal clear everybody? This is the summary table. Is it crystal clear everybody? Come on everyone. Fatafat everyone, come on. Okay, great. So I think all of you have copied it. Very good. Since you all have copied it, very good. Sir, can you take a small test? Okay, I am taking a small test. So my dear friends, this test that I am starting right now is going to be of 5 marks. I want to see how many of you are scoring 5 out of 5. Okay, let's go. Our 5 marks test. Everybody pay attention, okay? Question number 1. When elasticity of supply is greater than 1, the curve is A, horizontal, B, parallel, C, steeper, D, flatter. Next question is, when elasticity of supply equals to 1, It is the case of A, unitary elastic, B, inelastic, C, both, D, none. Question number 2. Okay. Next questions, 3 questions. First, okay, what is, if elasticity of supply is perfectly elastic, value of elasticity will be, what will be the value of elasticity? Let's see. A, infinity, B, 1, C, greater than 1, D, less than 1. So friends, I have put the 3 questions. Let's see who is able to answer the question correctly. Come on everybody, come on everybody. 3 questions, 3 questions. First will give marks out of 3 and then we'll do it out of 5, okay? First out of 3, then we'll do it out of 5, okay? All right. So when elasticity is greater than 1, the curve is relatively flat. When it's 1, it's called unitary elastic, and when it's perfectly elastic, the value will be infinity. So let's see how many of you get 3 out of 3. Come on everybody, how many scored 3 out of 3? Let's see. Wow. A lot of 3s out of 3s. A lot of 3 out of 3s, yaar. Wow. So yes, you all are absolutely correct. A lot of 3 out of 3s. Very good, yeah. So moving on to the next question. If elasticity of supply is 2, percentage change in price is 10%, percentage change in quantity is equals to what percent? Option A, 5%, B, 20%, C, 30%, D, 40%. Come on everybody, 4th question is indeed a very good one. Come on everybody, let's see. Okay, Pratidanya, very good. Manas, good answer, very good. Kalyani, congrats. Good work, Isha. Okay, so let's see. So I'll tell you all. See, I told you all, elasticity tells us that if price changes by 1%, quantity changes by 2%. So if price is changing by 10%, quantity is going to change by 10% into 2, that is 20%. That is 20%. That is 20%. That is 20%. Correct. Moving on. Question number 5. Let's see. If elasticity of supply is 3, percentage change in quantity is 30%, what is the percentage change in price equal to? A, 10%, B, 90%, C, 45%, D, 20%. Come on everybody, let's see who is able to answer correct. First answer is going to be flat. Absolutely correct. The first one is going to be flatter because it's greater than 1. Had it been less than 1, it would have been steeper. Okay, so now coming back to this point. Okay, let's see. Yes, Harshita. Wow, amazing to see. All of you are giving correct answers. It is amazing. You are doing magic or what? So yes, 30% by 3, 10%. So 5 questions over. Let me see guys, how many of you have scored? Full marks. How many of you have scored full marks? Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. Okay, great, 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 great. Yes, 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 very good. So now moving on to the question of determinants of, very good Ishan, very good Ishan. Okay, okay, very good Muhammad Barkatullah, very good. Okay, Shruti, congrats. Moving on. Now we are going on to the next topic, friends, from supply, which is determinants of elasticity of supply, which is determinants of elasticity of supply. Okay, so let's pay attention, everybody. Determinants of elasticity of supply. Determinants of elasticity of supply. Okay, one by one, let's go ahead, friends. One by one, let's go ahead, friends. Okay, very good. See, just like we did determinants of elasticity of demand, we are doing determinants of elasticity of supply. Okay, pay attention, everyone. Okay, number one, substantial increase in costs. See, you know, pay attention, everyone, pay attention. Suppose a producer had decided to produce more. Suppose the producer had decided to produce more. So suppose the producer had decided to produce more. Now friends, if the producer had decided to produce more, and if you know, because of the higher production, supply, or I mean supply costs or production cost increase considerably, then they would want to increase less production. And so if the rise in production results in substantial increase in cost, elasticity of supply will be low, because producer will not want to produce more in the fear of huge rise in costs. Because of fear of huge rise in costs, fear of huge rise in costs. To tell it in Hindi, थप्पड़ से नहीं डर लगता साहब, कॉस्ट से लगता है, ज्यादा खर्चे से लगता है. फ्यूचर ऑफ ह्यूज राइज इन कॉस्ट, फ्यूचर ऑफ ह्यूज राइज इन कॉस्ट, फ्यूचर ऑफ ह्यूज राइज इन कॉस्ट, fear of huge rise in cost. So there is a fear of huge rise in cost. So this is the point. So if there is a fear of huge rise in cost, elasticity of supply is going to be less. It's going to be less. Acha, okay. Okay. Next. Number two, since this point is clear, let's go on to the second point. My dear friends, second point is time period. You all remember last class I taught you about different types of time period. I tell you guys that the longer the time period, the producer gets more time to supply, and therefore elasticity will be more. So simple logic, longer time period, more elastic is the supply. Lesser the time period, low elastic is the supply. More the time period, more elastic is the supply. Lesser is the time period, low elastic is the supply. Okay, point number two. Point number two. Because you see, if you are fearing high rise in costs, you will want to supply less. That's why when high rise in cost, substantial increase in costs, elasticity will be low, because producer want to produce less. Okay, pay attention, everybody. Time period, longer the time period, more elastic is the supply. Lesser the time period, lesser is the elasticity of supply. Point number two, done. Point number three is number of producers. Okay, number of producers. See, if there is a high number of producers now, friends, then there is a lot of competition, and due to competition, elasticity of supply tends to be higher elasticity, because supply changes quickly. But if it is low, then elasticity of supply is also low. More number of producer, higher elasticity of supply, higher elasticity of supply. Okay, Yes, sir, we have got it. Point number 3. Okay. Point number 4, capacity utilization. You see, you have to see whether the firm is operating at full capacity or not under full capacity. So if firm has a lot of spare capacity, then it can change its supply. So elasticity of supply is going to be high. But if it is already operating at full capacity, then elasticity of supply is going to be low, because if we are already using the factory full, then we may not be able to increase supply much. Okay, so sir, now 4 points I'll explain. I'll summarize it in English as well as Hindi. Okay, first point says that if the producer is fearing that due to rise in supply, if the cost may rise significantly, they will want to not supply more, and therefore elasticity will be low. If the second point is, if time period is long, they can adjust their supply, so more elasticity, lesser time period cannot adjust, low elasticity. Number of producers high, more competition, higher elasticity. Capacity utilization, if spare capacity exists, they can increase their supply, so high elasticity. If full capacity, no capacity exists, then low elasticity. Again in Hindi I will summarize. अगर प्रोड्यूसर को डर है कि सप्लाई बढ़ाने से कॉस्ट बढ़ जाएगा, तो वो लोग सप्लाई कम ही बढ़ाना चाहेंगे, सो इलास्टिसिटी विल बी लो. नंबर 2, टाइम पीरियड. अगर समय ज्यादा रहेगा तो आपके पास समय रहेगा क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड बढ़ाने का, देयरफॉर हायर इलास्टिसिटी. नंबर ऑफ प्रोड्यूसर्स, अगर ज्यादा लोग हैं, ज्यादा कंपटीशन है, सप्लाई इलास्टिसिटी हाई रहेगी. कैपेसिटी यूटिलाइजेशन, अगर एक फर्म अपने फैक्ट्री या मशीन को पूरा यूटिलाइज ऑलरेडी कर रहा है तो और इंक्रीज नहीं कर सकता प्रोडक्शन, तो लो इलास्टिसिटी. और अगर इंक्रीज कर सकता है तो हाई है या लो, इसके लिए केवल आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि क्या प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाया जा सकता है कि नहीं. इफ द प्रोडक्शन कैन बी इंक्रीज्ड फर्दर, elasticity is high. If the chances of increase are bleak or almost nil, then the elasticity of supply is going to be low. Full stop. That is the funda. This is the first 4 point. Okay. Next point is availability of inputs. Okay, number 5. No, Parinitha, you don't have to check all that, you just have to focus on the respective points. Okay, all right. Moving on to number 5, availability of raw materials and other inputs. See, availability of raw materials and other inputs, my lovely friends, you see, if raw materials and other inputs are available easily, supply can be increased easily, so elasticity is going to be high. But friends, okay, moving on. Availability of raw materials easily, high elasticity of supply. If the raw materials are not easily available, then the supply elasticity is going to be low elasticity of supply. Okay, great sir, great. So number 6 we are moving on to. See, here we are talking about costs. So if cost rises, supply falls. Direct relationship exists when we talk about price. That is, rise in price leads to rise in profits. Here it is cost. So there will be inverse relationship only. Okay. Now moving on, pay attention to number 6. Point number 6. Okay. Point number 6. Okay. Everybody pay attention. Other factors availability. So if factors of production are, it's much like 0.5. If other factors of production are easily available, supply can be adjusted and therefore high elasticity. If factors of production are not easily available, then the elasticity of supply is going to be low. Okay. Okay. Number 7, mobility. Factor mobility. Mobility means movement, my dear friends. Mobility means my dear friends movement. My dear friends movement. So if there is movement, if not possible, it's going to be low. Sir, please give us an example. I will give you an example. let's say you have a machine, you have a printing machine. So initially you were in the business of newspaper printing, but now you are finding it to be a loss making business. So now you have shifted cards. Elasticity is high. If shifting is not that easy, then elasticity will be low, because that person will have no option but to produce that commodity only, Okay sir, got it sir. Moving on to point number 8. Okay, it's expectations, future expectations. Okay, see, if producers expect high rise in future, high price rise in future, then at present they will respond less to change in prices. Price changes. It is all about expectation, because they're expecting huge rise in future, so they will react least to the change in present. Okay, all right sir. So whether you are expecting high rise, high change, or low change, okay, and factor mobility means one machine or one whatever product you are having, input you are having, can you shift it from one use to another? If you can shift it from one use to another, like the printing machine, then it's high elasticity. If you cannot shift, then elasticity is low. Mobility means movement. Like here, it was possible to use my printing machine initially for newspaper. Now I have moved it to printing invitation cards. That's called mobility. If the mobility is high, elasticity is high. If the mobility is low, elasticity is low. Okay, all right sir. So now my dear friends, let's come to the last point, which is equilibrium price. Sir, what is equilibrium price? Please tell us. Dear friends, equilibrium price is the price level at which quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal to one another. Price at which quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal to one another. So I'll explain you guys. Come on everybody. So what is equilibrium price? Pay attention friends. My dear friends, equilibrium price is the price at which quantity demanded is equals to quantity supplied. Equilibrium price is the price at which quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied. I'll give you an example. Of a table, okay? Pay attention everybody. So let's put a price here. Quantity demanded here, quantity supplied here. Okay. So if price was 10 rupees, then 15, then 20 rupees. Now guys, if price rises, quantity demanded falls. So let's say quantity demanded was 100 units, then 80, then 70 units. But you all also know that when price rises, quantity supplied rises. So at low price, low quantity supplied, high price, higher quantity supplied. So guys, you see at price level 15, quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. So this price of 15 rupees at which QD equals to QS, it's called the equilibrium price. It's also called the market determined price. It's also called price mechanism. It's also called the market determined price, and this concept is also called price mechanism. This concept, my lovely friends, is also called price mechanism. Price mechanism is a concept which tells us that quantity demanded becomes equal to quantity supplied at a particular price level. That price level is called equilibrium price. जहां पर क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड और क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड एक दूसरे के बराबर होगा, उसी को हम लोग इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस बोलेंगे। ठीक है, अब आप लोगों के लिए मैं एक डायग्राम बना देता हूं, ध्यान से सुनना आप लोग। पे अटेंशन एवरीवन। सी फ्रेंड्स, सी इट इज द डिमांड कर्व, this is the supply curve. Okay, this is the supply curve and this is the demand curve. This is the price level at which quantity demanded is equals to quantity supplied. Okay, this is the price level at which quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied. This is the equilibrium point. This is the equilibrium price and this is the equilibrium quantity. This is the equilibrium quantity. The equilibrium quantity. Pay attention, everyone. This is the diagram of price mechanism or price equilibrium. Okay, yes. Now my dear friends, pay attention. If consumers are having to pay less, pay attention everybody. Okay, listen to me very carefully. See, producer surplus means a point, the benefit which the producers are deriving if they are, if they are basically able to sell at a price higher than the cost price, obviously. Okay, pay attention everybody. If my dear friends, pay attention my dear friends, if the quantity supplied is by the producer results in producer's selling price is greater than cost price, then the producer is said to have made a profit. So let's say this is the price at which they are selling. If cost is somewhere here, so this point is called producer surplus, because they will be benefiting. And you remember in case of demand I showed you, let's say the consumer was paying this much, ready to pay this much, but they are paying this much. So this amount that they are saving, consumer surplus is the amount which the consumers were ready to pay minus which they are actually paying. We have discussed a lot in case of demand. Okay, so that talks about consumer surplus and producer surplus. Producer surplus is when producers are selling at a higher price compared to cost. Consumer surplus is at situation where the consumers are basically having to pay lesser than what they were ready to pay. We have also indeed done it in the case of demand. We have also studied that in the case of demand, my lovely friends. Isn't it? Yes, sir, we indeed have. Okay. So the fact that you all get it now, please let's move ahead. Let's move on. So guys, first of all, let me give you a very good news. Sir, what is that good news? The good news is, my dear friends, our topic number 2, chapter number 2, which comprised of 3 things: demand, consumer equilibrium and supply, is over. Correct? Now what are we doing, sir? Now we are using our time to, take your doubts and also to solve more MCQs. One of our friends was asking to explain point elasticity in case of demand. So my lovely friend, here I explain point elasticity of demand. Sir, why are you doing demand? Just because I have completed supply, I now have time to take doubt. Okay, pay attention everybody. I'll also solve MCQ today, so don't worry. And MCQ will be from all the 3 topics: consumer behavior, consumer equilibrium as we call it, demand and supply. So pay attention. So guys, this is the demand curve. Okay, as per point elasticity method, elasticity at any point is equal to length of lower segment by length of upper segment, meaning this is the point at which we want to calculate. Let's say, let me write down A, B, this is the midpoint C, this is the point D, this is the point E. So if at point A you want to calculate, then elasticity at point A will be equal to the length of AE by 0, because nothing is above A. So it is going to be infinity. That is called perfectly elastic. At point B, you will have to do BE by AB. Now guys, here BE is greater, so the value of elasticity of demand is going to be greater than 1, which is called relatively elastic. Point C is the midpoint. At midpoint, the line segment lower and upper is equal, so the elasticity of demand basically at point C is going to be 1. At point D, what will happen is DE by AD. Here, my dear friends, elasticity will be less than 1. and at point E, my dear friends, nothing is below it, so 0, everything is above it, so AE, it will give you 0 elasticity. There we help you with it. Okay, okay. All right. Consumer surplus, my dear friends, is a point. What is consumer surplus? Our friend is asking. So, my dear friend, consumer surplus means, let's say you are very thirsty. You are ready to pay 30 rupees for a water bottle, but you have to pay only 10 because the cost price of the bottle is only 10. So you are having to pay less because you were ready to pay 30. You are paying only 10. This is called consumer surplus. You all may see the video in ICI YouTube channel. It's still uploaded. Okay. All right, sir. CA tube as we call it. Okay. 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 All right. And what is social efficiency, sir? Social efficiency basically represents, the gains to the society. One of our friend is asking, what is meaning of social efficiency? Social efficiency means benefit. I'll show you how. Means net gain to society. Basically, net gain to society. I'll tell you, I'll give an example. Net gain to society, that is benefit to the producer and benefit to the consumer. For example, let's say the selling price of a product is rupees 20. Customer is ready to pay because the product is so useful. Customer is ready to pay 50 rupees, but the cost price of the producer is only 5 rupees, is only rupees 5. Now see, everybody is happy. Why, sir? Because consumer surplus is 30. Consumer is having to pay 30 less than what they are ready to pay. Producer is happy because they are making a profit of 15 rupees. That's producer surplus. That's consumer surplus. This total is called social efficiency. My dear friends, is it crystal clear, everybody? Come on, everyone. Is it crystal clear, everybody? Come on, everyone. Okay, okay, okay. So friends, this is the point. Now friends, you were asking, sir, what is demand function? So basically, when you explain the relationship between quantity demanded and factors affecting demand, like price of own commodity, price of related commodities, income. So the relationship between quantity demanded and factors affecting demand is called demand function. Next, you were asking the meaning of disposable income. My dear friends, pay attention, everybody. Now we talk about disposable income. Disposable income means income available to spend. That is income minus taxes. Income minus taxes. That is disposable income, friends. That is disposable income, friends. Okay, correct, correct, correct. That is disposable income. You all are absolutely correct. Okay. And sir, in case of indifference curve, it shows the various points that give the same level of satisfaction to the consumer. It looks like this. And the budget line shows various combinations that cost the same. And the point at which indifference curve and budget line meet is called equilibrium under the ordinal utility approach given by Hicks and Allen. Okay. All right, sir. All right, sir. So now let's move on to the concepts, some of the MCQ given by our respective institute. I have done some MCQs which were, made by me, but now our lovely institute's material book also, let's solve some. Okay. Just for the sake of confidence that yes, we are able to, do it well. Okay. Hold on, friends. Okay. Here it is. So here is our respective questions. Okay, okay. So let's discuss, my dear lovely friends. Let's start discussing now. Okay. So now, as you can see, it's related to the question related to time period is coming. See, pay attention, everyone. In a very short period, what will happen to supply? As I have told you, the supply cannot be changed. Remember, guys, very short period, supply no change. Short period, supply little change. Supply little change. You know, and in case of long period, lot of change in supply, lot of change in supply, lot of change in supply. Okay, so very short period cannot be changed. Okay, moving on, sir. Okay, so some of you are asking to solve some MCQs. I'll do it. Okay, don't worry. All right. So one of your friends are asking question number 63, I think. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, it's very easy, na. Potato chips and corn are substitute. So if your price of potato is rising, that's the demand for popcorn. If price of chips is rising, demand for popcorn will increase. Obviously, if demand for popcorn is increasing, the sales of popcorn will also increase, na. So it's very easy, very basic question. Increase, increase. Moving on. The next question that I am asked is, let me move on. Let's see this one, yaar. Let's see this one. It seems that people are very afraid of this question, but it's very easy question. You know, they have given supply function like this. The supply function they have given like this. Oh, okay, pay attention, everyone. Minus 100 plus 10p. Okay, I am trying to solve variety of questions. Okay, so pay attention, everybody. Q is minus 100 plus 10p. So friends, if they are giving Q is minus 100 plus 10p, price they have given us 15. So what we have got to do is find the elasticity using point method. Find the elasticity using point method. Okay, we will do that. First of all, what we are concerned with is, you know, not about that point method and everything. First, we have to find out when price is rupees 15. So what is the quantity? Minus 100 plus. Pay attention, everybody. It is minus 100 plus 10 into P. Okay. P. P is basically 15. Okay. So what is happening is 150 minus 100. It comes to 50. It comes to 50, everybody. Okay. Yes. So you may be asked about the quantity. So you people have to remember that is how you do it. That is how you do it, sir. Okay, sir, we will remember it. We will remember it, sir. Suppose it would have given, I'll just give you an example. Suppose they would have given price to be 10 rupees, just for example, okay, in this question. Then how you would have done? Then quantity would have been minus 100 plus 10 into price at which will be 10. So quantity supplied would have gone to 100 minus 100, 0. Oh my god. Oh my god. Then quantity would have fallen to 0. So initial, now the quantity is 50. Now the quantity is 50. It would have gone to 0 if the price has gone down from 50 to 10. Okay. Yes, sir. So now, sir, you tell us this particular thing. Okay, you have seen it. What is happening, sir? How do we estimate elasticity? Because they have done it. I'll tell you how to estimate elasticity. You know, they have given a price of 15. I have taken another price of 10 just to estimate. So the change in quantity is by how much percent? You see, 50 gone to 0. So its change in quantity is 50 and the percentage change is almost 100% change in supply minus 100% because 50 to 0. And what is the change in price? 15 to 10. So by 5 by 15 into 100. So it has gone down by minus 33%. Minus minus gone. So the value is coming approximately 3.33. And that's why we will take this answer. We just have to estimate a roundabout value. We just have to explain a roundabout value. And now you are asking what is total revenue? Total revenue is nothing but price into quantity. So suppose you sell 3 units, price is 5 rupees. So total revenue will be 5 into 3, 15 rupees. Bus, that is total revenue. That is total revenue. As easy as that. As easy as that. Understood? That's total revenue. Okay, friends? Yes. Moving on. Pay attention, everybody. Okay. So a graph-based question. Let's see what we are able to do with this graph-based question. Pay attention, everybody. Pay attention, everybody. Okay. The figure shows the budget constant of a consumer. Okay, so income is 900. This is a budget line. Budget constant means budget line. Okay. To spend on two commodities, namely ice cream and chocolates. The price of two commodities respectively are. It's very easy. It's very easy. How, sir? You see, maximum chocolate that the consumer can buy is 90 units. So for that, price of chocolate has to be 10 rupees. Price of chocolate has to be 10 rupees. You see, 900 by 90. Price of chocolate. And maximum ice cream that this person can buy is 45. So 900 by 45 is basically 20. Now, my dear friends, a very dangerous situation. Option is 10 and 20 and 20 and 10. Maximum students do it wrong. You have to pay attention. What is given first here? Ice cream. So ice cream that he is able to buy is 20. Chocolate is second, which is 10. So we will mark 20 and 10. Not 10 and 20. Not 10 and 20. Not 10 and 20. Not 10 and 20. We will do 20 and 10. We will do 20 and 10. We will do 20 and 10. Come on, everybody. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. So now, okay. So question number 21, sir, can you explain us some other way also? Yes, 89, I can explain you some other way also. This point elasticity method basically talks about the formula of arc elasticity as well. So you can apply that here. This is what they are asking. So don't worry, you'll get 3 only. That's simple. Okay, now pay attention, everybody. This one is clear, it seems. Okay, this one is clear, it seems. So now moving on to number 91. Okay, number 91. Pay attention, everybody. No matter what the price of coffee is, Arjun will spend a total of exactly 100 per week on coffee. Okay, so Arjun will spend only 100 per week on coffee. Okay, we have got it. Now what they're asking, let's see what they're asking. The statement implies that Arjun spends a total of exactly 100 per week. So total expenditure remains same. Total expenditure remains same. So no matter the change in price, total expenditure remains same. It's called unitary elastic. In demand, I have taught you the total expenditure method. So it's the case of unit elastic. Here it is. It is called unit elasticity. Under the total expenditure method, we have done it. Yes, sir. It's correct. It's correct. Moving on. Let's see some price elasticity related to numericals more. Let's see. If price of air conditioner increases from 30,000 to 30,010, oh my god, a negligible change, a negligible change. Okay, very negligible change as of now. And resultant demand is negligible. We use the measure of dash to measure elasticity. If there are negligible changes, as you can see here, we use point elasticity method. So when is point elasticity method good? When negligible changes are involved. Everybody write it down in the chat box that point elasticity is good when negligible changes are involved. Write down in the chat, everybody. Point elasticity is good when negligible changes are involved. When negligible changes are involved. Come on, everybody. Point elasticity of method is good when price and quantity involve negligible changes. When price and quantity involve negligible changes. Come on, everybody, in the chat box. Fatafat. Point elasticity is good when there are negligible changes in the price and quantity levels. Arshdeep, the scheduled digits can be any. And market equilibrium, as I have repeated 100 times, it's the price. It's basically a situation where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. Okay, okay, very good, Shivashri, very good, Rohan. Okay, now moving on, number 96, we are doing a mix of questions, okay, so that everything is covered. All right, see, number 96, supply curve shift to the right. Supply curve shifts to the right. So basically it was like this, now it has become like this, it has shifted to the right. Why? They're asking. Improve technology, increase price of factors of production, increase excise duty. Oh my god, no, 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 no. If the price of factor of production rises, quantity supplied will fall. If excise duty rises, quantity supplied will fall. Technology improves, quantity supplied will rise. And so improved technology is bang on correct, Absolutely, increased technology is absolutely correct, friends. Very good. Let's see question number 97. How many of you are able to answer it correctly? I'll have a look at the answer. Come on, everybody. Question 97. Come on, everyone. 97, everyone. Come on, everyone. Number 97. Which of the statement is correct? See, when price falls, quantity demanded falls. Okay, let's see. Quantity demanded falls. No, 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 no. Quantity demanded rises. Had it been quantity supplied, I would have said, okay, it's correct. Okay, it's correct. I would have said. Okay. Seasonal changes do not affect the supply of commodity. Seasonal changes do not affect the supply of commodity. It's wrong. In winter, somebody will supply jackets more because they are more in demand. So it's wrong to say this. Taxes and subsidies, yes, they do influence the supply. If tax rise, supply falls. If subsidy rise, supply rise. With lower cost, it is profitable to supply more of the commodity. Yes, because as cost reduces, profit margin increases. Price remaining constant. Correct. One of you friends have asked me to do 95 also. Okay, I'll help you with 95. Given four possibilities, which one will result in increase in total expenditure? Result in increase in total expenditure. Okay. If demand is unit elastic, okay, no, it cannot be the answer because in unit elastic there is no change in total expenditure. Demand is elastic and price rises. In case of elastic demand, price and total expenditure travel in opposite direction. So total expenditure will fall. This is not the answer. If demand is inelastic and price falls, yes. In case of inelastic, they travel in same direction. So if price is falling, total expenditure will also fall. This is not the answer. Demand is inelastic and price rises. Yes. In case of inelastic, they are telling that the price has risen. They are traveling in the same direction. So if price is rising, total expenditure will also rise. So the correct answer here is option D. Option number D is the correct answer here. Option D is the correct answer here. One of your friends is explaining or is requesting to go back to question number 77. A decrease in demand for cameras. Yes. Other things remaining same. So the word they have used is decrease in demand for cameras. Okay. Increase the number of cameras brought. How can decrease in demand increase the number bought? Sorry. A decrease in demand will decrease the price but increase the number of cameras bought. How can number of cameras bought increase when the demand is decreasing? It's impossible. If decrease the price and decrease in the number of cameras brought, decrease in demand for cameras. If it is decrease word used, it's not related to price. So this cannot be the answer. It would have been contraction. So this is the correct answer. Okay, by process of elimination. Now moving on. Pay attention, everybody. Pay attention, everybody. Okay, question number 100. Let's see how many of you are able to answer this correctly. How many of you are able to answer this correctly? Come on, everybody. Supply is we had discussed it in the first class. In fact, my first statement related to supply was this. Yes, supply is a flow concept. Supply is a flow concept. Very good. Next, question number 101. Let's discuss the same. What is the cross elasticity between rye bread and whole wheat bread? Now you see they are substitutes. For substitutes, it's direct relationship. For example, if the price of rye bread rises, people will consume less of it and more of whole wheat. So there is direct relationship, also called positive relation. Remember, substitute goods will have positive cross elasticity of demand. Complementary goods will have negative cross elasticity of demand. Please remember this, everybody. Please remember this, everybody. Please remember this, everybody. See, cross elasticity between personal computer and software. Now come on everybody. Come on everybody. Personal computer and software are basically complementary to one another, because inside the computer you have inbuilt software, right? And therefore there will be negative impact. If price of one rises, demand for both might fall. Okay, so there it is, cross elasticity. Between bread and DVD. Interesting question. Yeah, bread and DVD are neither substitutes of one another, neither they complement one another. And so the answer is going to be yes, you all are correct. Answer is going to be zero. Zero. Answer is going to be zero. Correct. You all are absolutely correct. Moving on. Question number 105, everybody. Question number 105, everybody. Come on, let's see. Okay, let's see 105. Let's see what you all are answering, all my lovely friends. Okay. Then one friend is asking to question 118. Yes, we will come to question 118 as well in the process. Okay. See, income elasticity of education in private school in India is 3.6. What does it indicate? So please pay attention, everybody. Whenever income elasticity is greater than 1, we are talking about a luxury. So it basically means private school education is a luxury. Let's see question number 106. Come on everybody. Question number 106, 107, both we will do. 108 also I will do. Don't worry. All the three we will do. Come on everybody, let's go. How's the Josh, guys? Come on everybody, how's the Josh? See, if the organizers of an upcoming, pay attention here everybody, if the organizers of an upcoming cricket match decide to increase the ticket price in order to raise its revenues, what they have learned from the past experiences, percent increase in ticket rates is always equal to percentage increase in demand sold. Okay. Percentage increase in tickets rates will always greater than percentage decrease in tickets sold. So yes, you are absolutely correct in this point. See, it's point B. I'll give you an example what they are trying to say. Suppose the price of the ticket is 100 rupees. Okay. Quantity demanded is, let's say 50 units. What they have learned is, even if they increase it by 50 rupees, that is by 50%. So the new price is 150. See, the total revenue is how much? If you multiply both, they were earning 5,000. Even if you increase by 150, obviously price increased, but quantity will reduce by a lesser percentage. So if it has increased by 50%, let's say quantity is reducing by 20% only. So even if that happens into 40, 6,000, that is why revenue will rise. So they know that if they increase the price, quantity will fall, but percentage change in price is greater than percentage change in quantity, is what they have learned from the previous experience. And this way they are able to earn more revenues. See how business decision making works. And that's why we call it business economics. That's why we are calling this subject business economics, everybody. Let's come to 107, everyone. Data on production of vegetables for the past 2 years showed that despite stable prices, that is price being constant, there is a substantial decline in the output of cabbage, leading to lower supply into the market. Okay, Which of the following can possibly be the reason for decline in cabbage supply? We have been told that the prices have remained unchanged. You must not touch price. You must not talk about price. So pay attention, everybody. An increase in price of, pay attention everybody, increase in price of cauliflower, which is equally preferred by consumers. Okay, announcement of subsidy on vegetable production, but it is wrong. Had it been a subsidy, quantity supplied would have risen, not fallen. More farmers producing cabbage and increasing competition. Arey Baba, if more farmers are increasing, quantity supplied will increase. Why the hell will it fall down? Substantial decrease in price of capsicum. No logic. If price of capsicum will decrease, people will supply more of cabbage. So there is no logic. Yes. So pay attention. Increase in price of cauliflower. So what is happening is, since the price of cauliflower is rising, farmers are finding it more profitable to produce cauliflower instead of cabbage. So the supply of cabbage is falling because farmers are moving from production of cabbage to production of cauliflower because they are finding it more profitable. Oh, is that so, sir? Yes, that is so. So 107, it will be A. 107, it will be A. Because farmers are finding it more profitable. Because farmers are finding it more profitable. Because farmers are finding it more profitable. Okay, is that so, sir? Yes, that is so. Let's move on to the next point, guys. Come on. The following diagram shows the relationship between price of good X and quantity of good Y. Come on, everybody. It's two different commodities. All right. What can you infer? There is a flat curve which is upward sloping. See, upward sloping curve means direct relationship. Direct relationship exists only for substitutes. Complementary, the graph is downward sloping. So it cannot be complements. Now, they are not perfect substitutes, obviously. What kind of substitutes are this? See, if the curve is relatively steep, then they would have been, remote substitutes. That is not very close substitutes. But since it is almost flat, it seems to be closed substitutes case. They are closed substitutes. Had the curve been like this, then also substitutes, but they would have been remote substitutes then. So if it would have been like this, it would be remote substitutes. Write it down in your notes, everybody. Come on, yaar. Write it down in your notes. So one of you friends were asking question number 118, diagram based. Okay, so I'll discuss the diagram based question. It doesn't matter to me. I'll discuss this. Okay, pay attention. Okay, pay attention, everybody. Okay, yes, sir. The effect on consumer surplus of a fall in price from E to F. See, if price is falling, pay attention, everybody. What will be impact is what we are judging here. What is the impact we are judging here? Effect of consumer surplus of a fall in price from E to F. Okay, so this was demand, now this was demand. Okay, great. Now they're asking a decrease in consumer surplus, It's wrong, na? Consumer surplus will rise. You see, suppose you are ready to pay 50 rupees. You are having to pay 30 rupees. What is the consumer surplus? 20 rupees. Suppose now you were ready to pay 50 rupees. The price has reduced to 10 rupees. Your consumer surplus is now 40. So because of reduction in price, consumer surplus will rise. And our options here are only talking about decrease in surplus. So it's absolutely wrong. It will be none of the above. Is it clear, everybody?
Is it clear, everybody? Yes, sir. Moving on. Let's see to the next question what it is saying. With price rise from F to E, increase in revenue earned by the salaries. Price rise from F to E. Okay, price has risen from F to E. So yes, revenue will increase. Revenue will increase. They're asking by how much? They're asking by how much? Asking by how much? Obviously, you see, initially what was the revenue? You see, initially what was the revenue? This was the price. Okay, this was the quantity sold by the producer. This was the price. So this used to represent the total revenue. Now the total revenue is here. So if you see this shaded portion, the revenue has increased by this much. So this is represented by EFGR. You see EFGR. So the answer is equivalent to area EFGR, because revenue has risen by that much only. Revenue is basically price into quantity. So revenue has increased by that much only. So we'll answer that only. Okay, great, sir. Great, great, great. All right. Sir, please explain this one as well. Another diagram based, so I'll discuss this as well, guys. You don't have to be worried. See, if the consumer is spending her entire income and consuming at point B, what advice will you give her? What advice will you give her? You know, see, if the consumer is at B, we will tell her that you are purchasing a lot of good Y but very less of good X. So our advice would be, it's better if you start consume more of good X and less of good Y. This will be our advice. Okay, moving on. Which of the following is true about this consumer? Which of the following is true about this consumer? Not maximizing her utility, correct, because utility is only maximized when it is tangent. For her, the graph is somewhat like this. So she is not maximizing her utility at point K. Correct, she is not. No. The consumer is spending her income on both the goods. Yes, because budget line represents the same. Pay attention. Consumer gets equal pleasure at B and K. Yes, indifference curve represents all the points giving same level of satisfaction. So yes, all the above are correct. That's the logic of indifference curve, na? All point on indifference curve give the same level of satisfaction. So yes, B and K give the same level of satisfaction. There's no doubt about this. So my dear friends, supply is over. That's it for the day, everybody. Please keep practicing. Next day we are going to start with our new topic, production. See you all. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much. Tata.